always strategically puts our puzzle pieces in place so we can see the bigger picture of things.
In that same path of my higher self, which
So when you're reinventing yourself, sometimes it feels really scattered.
Of knows if I would not overcame being a teenage mom,
is the person like it's $1 million Norma, right? Like $1 million Norma.
What your boundaries are and communicating with that.
What is she doing that I'm currently not doing? And
she went through a lot of shit too, right?
Right.
Because we don't really think about that, what she was dealing with at that time, right?
Right.
My mom was
like if I could open my purse, is that if I would not overcome domestic violence,
A Rican thing.
I guess she loves.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Hey.
good looking stuck mi gente, what's up? Oh, let me take my glasses off because I always forget that the glare como que se destaca en la cámara.
It messes with them.
It does. It really does. So how y'all doing? How's everybody doing? It is Thursday. That's correct. Thursday. And of course, the Aces Club is live, large, and in charge because we have a spicy topic. Esta noche, we are going to talk about baby daddies and baby mamas being able to claim their children on the taxes. So first of all, disclaimer, that was a rumor put out by somebody on TikTok. I'm not going to give him any more stage or any more limelight because that was messed up. He basically put out saying that Trump tweeted that the parent that pays child support will not be able to claim basically the children. Right. And so many people had so many reactions to it. And so I looked into it. And of course, that's not what that was not real. The person came out and fessed up to it. But today we're going to explore the topic about child support. How would you feel if your baby daddy or your baby mama really did claim the kids while they were only providing child support? Dun, dun, dun. What do you think, Diana? What would happen?
Like, you know, I'm glad that it was like a spoof and that it was like not real.
Can we just get a moment for the hair though? Because ma'am, it's giving I'm rich, I'm beautiful, I'm classy. Hello.
It's giving hair.
You're hilarious. It's giving
so I'm glad that it was like BS and that it's not real for real, because girl, see, I wouldn't find myself in that situation, thank God, for whatever reason, right? But you know, it is what it is. Here's what my thought went for those that I'm a numbers person, so I start crunching up numbers and I start like looking at things and I'm like, oh, bro, for those that receive, fun fact, for those that receive anywhere under $4,500 a year, give or take, and they have 2 kids, for a mother that receives about $4,500 in child support in a year for 2 kids, right? Usually that's the standard, depending on what the person's income is. And they get a return back of $5,000. Technically, that person didn't pay child support.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Technically, the government paid the child support.
So, you know, so I was just like playing around the numbers and I'm just like, that's wild. You know what I'm saying? Now, here's where I stand with this. I don't disagree that to a certain extent, men should have some type of credit. They should get some type of money. I'm not saying that they should receive what we've received, the person that has, whoever it is, be it the man or the woman that has the child the majority of the time. The person, the custodial parent that has the physical custody of the child should obviously receive the child credit, right?
Right.
And should be able to get any stipends or any help throughout the year, et cetera, et cetera. But I also do agree that, you know, sometimes there's a lot of hardworking men that I've met that have just not been privileged to be able to say, you know, I get something back, or because I was, you know, I've been good. I mean, it's your job to pay child support. It's your job to take care of your kids. But just like we receive something, maybe a $500 or a little bonus, or, you know, because sometimes some men get really like, they get the short end of the stick, right?
They do.
And so it's hard to measure that because how do you know if it's a good dad? Like, how does the government know?
I don't see, and that's why I think like with things like this, I like the way that things are now, which is that if the child resides more than 6 months with a certain parent, then that parent gets to claim the child.
Yep.
And the reason why I say that, because there's a lot of things that are invaluable that are still time consuming, and there's still some type of expense. However, you can't put it in dollars and cents.
Yeah.
Right. So like me going to my daughter's recital, me taking her to the doctors, me taking trips for her, taking her places, caring for her, staying up all night with her, all around the clock care, feeding her, all that stuff. I'm her cook, I'm her cleaner, I'm her tutor, I'm everything. So I don't think that it would be fair for her dad to claim her, because at the end of the day, he gets her vacation, he gets her, whenever possible and things like that. He's a very present father when it comes to that kind of situation. However, it would be unfair because at the end of the day, I foot most of the bill.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and I think that's where the difference is, because that you're speaking on a specific example.
Right.
But see, here's another example, right? What would you think? You're entitled to make the decision if this person gets some type of return or some type of stipend throughout the year. Mm-hmm. Let me give you an example. A father that is extremely present sees his children, let's say 4 or 5 days out of the week. Mm-hmm. On weekends, he has them every single weekend. He foots all the bills when it comes to, when they're with him. He pays for tuition for school, and anything else that comes up, right? In addition to paying child support. Mm-hmm. Should this parent now receive something throughout the year or at the end of the year in taxes?
Absolutely.
Even though he doesn't have
there is arrangements like that. See, that's the interesting part. So when I was married, I actually spent about a good portion, like 35% of my marriage, in court, fighting custody back and forth with my ex-husband's ex-wife over the kids that he had with her, over the mm-hmm. 2 girls that are, like my daughters. But the guidelines are basically taking a percentage of your paycheck. That's one. Mm-hmm. Both parents' incomes are taken into consideration, right? So it's not just like, oh, let's take this man's or this woman's 50% of her income and screw them over. No, it is income based. And they do calculate how many children you have and are responsible for, who has primary custody and who doesn't. There's a lot of calculations that goes into this before they come out with a final number. Yeah. Now, what happens is that a lot of the times some parents are not present. And because of that, they end up footing a larger bill. Mm-hmm. But if you actually could prove to the court and show to the court, and you come to agreement as parents that you will both share the children 50-50 custody, chances are, unless one parent earns way more than the other, chances are that you guys end up even. Yeah. And you can even record it to where it can be like, hey, on even years, I claim the children. On odd years, you claim the children. Right. However, right? So there's all sides of the story, agreements that can go down in court, in family court, to where you do have different ways to fight. So that's why I don't really get the whole pity me by some men, because and I say by some men because I've heard it more from men than I have from women. Mm-hmm. I know more single mothers than I do single fathers that are in charge of their kids. Right. That's just a fact. I'm not shaming anybody. I'm not saying men don't take care of the kids.
That's a reality.
That's just a reality.
If you crunch the numbers, I'm sure that would be the case.
Right. I do know some men that are single fathers because their spouses have passed away, because the mother left, whatever. I do know those type of men as well. Kudos to you, and kudos to any parent really that's a single parent, because trust me, it sucks. It's ghetto over here.
It's ghetto. It's ghetto.
It's ghetto. I don't recommend it. 0 out of 10, my friend. It's not a good deal. So if you have a spouse, work that shit out. Work that shit out, because this ain't it.
No, it's not meant to be. And that's another podcast episode.
Yes.
We've done that one. We'll probably bring it back up. It's not meant for you to do by yourself.
We would need like a 10-part series just to talk about single parenting and how difficult this shit is. But anyways, I digress. My point is that I don't pity those, because there are ways that you can plead to the court and say, man, listen, I only make $2,000 a month. There's just nothing. Rent is $1,000. What am I supposed to pay for my kids?
What are you supposed to live on?
Mm-hmm. However, you can be there. You can say, you know what? I'll pick them up every day after school. or I'll take them to school in the morning if that's what your
Right.
time allows. I'll pick them up every weekend or every other weekend. I'll have them the entire summer, whatever it is. There's so many arrangements
go
that you
about
can make to come out on top as a man rather than being broke and being flat left, right?
Yeah.
Now, I do not believe that it is equal opportunity across the states. There are some states like Texas that are very punitive when it comes to child support. And they have left men completely broke. I think that that's completely unfair.
I think New York also is very like, they're hard
Yes.
on you.
Yes.
And I think it all
living in the
depends. I
streets,
think-
honey, while you have a 6-figure job.
I think that another reason is that a lot of people think, I don't know, it's one of those 50-50 coin toss where do you put them to court? Do you not? Because if you're not through the court, then everything that you said doesn't apply.
Well, and that's true too. But here's my thing. I'm a firm believer of protection, and it just depends on your relationship with that person. It is such a specific, like, case by case basis on whether you want to take that person to court. For example, you can take a person to court, and then that person might drag you and leave you broke. I remember spending year for year while I was married, like minimum, like around $9,000 to $10,000 in court fees and lawyer fees in order to oblige by all the court proceedings that his ex-wife used to take us to court for. It becomes expensive. It is tedious. It is crazy. I would say that if you can come to agreement with the person and you don't feel like they're a threat to you in any type of way, then don't leave the courts out of it.
Yeah.
But
you could do mediation. Sometimes people do mediations and they can stay out of court.
Right.
Because it is a lot. There's a lot that goes into it. And honestly, unless you have someone that's extremely, wildly, ridiculously disgruntled and somewhat violent, I think that it's just more for show than it is for the kids. Because if we're adults, we can settle this and we can make something that's amicable and gonna be good for the kids, because that's the purpose of it. But unfortunately, people are not adults. Unfortunately, this takes me back to my biggest This bit takes me back to like my biggest theory in life, which has always been, even prior to having kids, people should be tested. Like you have to test to get a bank account or to get a mortgage. People should be tested to be parents. Like if you guys break up in 5 years,
that's not a thing. That's not a freaking thing.
It should be a thing.
I get what you're saying, but like, hear me out, right? Like, it's not a thing because everybody's parenting is so different, right? Can you say that there's like absolutely wrong parenting? Yes, because there are some horrible humans out there that should not have offsprings at all.
At all.
Because of the way that they treat their children, because of abuse, because of so much nastiness that happens in this world. And so I do agree with that. But that's such a large spectrum between like a super shit person and like a decent parent or a great parent. It's like infinities within infinities of infinities, because every mind is a different world, right? So what you may think is okay, I don't think is okay, whatever. And that's all to do with like a summary of who we are as people and what kind of experiences we have had, and how we teach kids. So I think that that's too difficult to be like, yo, let's test you to see if you're capable of being a parent.
Well, here's where I think it doesn't have to be that difficult. Like it doesn't have to be that deep. To get a mortgage, there is just to give like a comparison, right? To get a mortgage, you need to have okay credit. You need to have money that you can front to close. And let's call it, what's another one? Go ahead, Miss Realtor.
I'm trying to figure out where you're going with this.
Just give me one more requirement.
You said credit, money, and what?
What's
Well, you have
the
to have
other thing?
steady employment for 2 years.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So let's use that for grounds, right? So now you want to be a parent. You have to be employed. Are you reliable to sustain a child? A. B. Do you have any type of psychotic craziness, retardedness, something that you did or have done to other people? Are you ill-minded or, like a character witness type of thing? Not that you're like the most best human being and you're kumbaya through this world,
Right.
but are you a person that has at least a certain amount of kindness and goodness in you that you can carry out another life?
How do you measure that? That's my point. I feel
Based
like that's
on
too flawed.
character reports.
That's too flawed. Because today I could be okay tomorrow I might slap.
Nigga. You could that 10 years. That just like if I watched you for 10 years and I'm gonna call your other co-worker, I'm gonna call the other
I
friend.
know plenty of people that wake up one day and they're like, you know what, I'm done with this world, whatever. I mean, look at the
All
people
right,
that
you
went off
will have that.
Hinge, literally that went off to the left because TikTok got suspended.
Oh, she went there. Okay, all right, you'll have those here and there. But the majority, I would say, I dare to say that there is like a scale where it's like, okay, you're half a decent human being. You
Right.
got a job, you got decent credit, and you know something else that's very required, right? Like then maybe you're entitled to have a kid. Like
Okay. So in your scenario, what authority would be the one determining if you're fit to be a parent or not?
what department, what authority? I
Yeah.
don't know. It should be. I would say like a group of psychs. People that are like, you know, psychologists, maybe like a board, maybe not one specific. So have you ever seen the show? Have you ever seen the show? ¿Cómo se llama? Married at First Sight?
Who?
Married at First Sight.
No. I
Okay.
see 90 Day Fiance.
Okay, so Married at First Sight, the concept is that they get married, they meet at the altar.
Mhm.
One thing that I love about this damn show, and the reason why I've seen it before, is because they have 4 people on the panel. So throughout this, like I think it's like 6 weeks or 9 weeks of marriage, they have a psychologist, a sexologist, a pastor, and I think a financial coach or something like that. In order for them to like at the end of this decide if they're going to stay married, they have to go through different sessions with these 4 people for an X amount of time. I think it should be something like that, like a panel. You've checked off the boxes, you know? And then, okay,
Difficult process.
you can be a parent. You can get married because you know that in 5 years, you guys are going to break up, blah, blah, blah. I'm a civilized human being. You're going to go your way. I'm going to go mine. I'm not going to try to take you for everything. I'm not taking you to the cleaners. I'm going to be a civilized human being because that's how we walked in, right? But that's, you know, that's far-fetched. That's just me and my brain, you know.
Right. Yeah, no, that's ese mundo que tú te estás creando, mija, that's intense.
That's what I would love because I'm like,
to me,
I waste my freaking time with these people.
To me, that only fits if everybody's the same, and not everybody's the same.
No, absolutely not. It wouldn't.
No.
But it would require a lot. It would not be easy to kind of pass. It would not be easy at all. But I think that it would be good because there's a lot of trash people in this world.
Jesus Christ.
It's unfortunate. I love hard, but unfortunately, people have very ill intentions. Not everyone, but there's a lot of people in this world that are not as kind as they should be.
Yeah.
And really like go to the left. Like, what the hell? This is not who I was with.
Yeah.
Why are you acting so shady, so evil? Like, do you understand that you're hurting this child?
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying, right? Because that's the problem. That you kind of don't know, right? No. I can remember that the person that I married was not the person that I divorced. And I mean that wholeheartedly. Right. Now, you know, we can sit there and talk about the red flags and then thinking about it in hindsight, because hindsight is 20/20. But the truth is that you didn't know that shit was going to end up like that.
Hell no.
Because let me tell you something, till this day, one of the worst things that I've ever had a human being do to me, I think, is, well, not really, but one of them, is the denial of food. As I'm moving out of the house to tell me that I cannot take food with me while I have a baby, like a 2.5-year-old.
That's because to me, in my opinion, and all due respect, that has nothing to do with you. I mean, it was to hurt you, but that also shows me how much you love your kid. Because that's
some people don't know how to separate the two.
Huh?
Some people don't know how to separate the two. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
you can't.
like
even if you're a shitty person, Jamie was a shitbag. She was so evil, blah, 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 whatever, right? Like,
yeah,
Jamie is still the mother of my child.
right.
I dislike her. She is horrible, but I am never going to make her. I feel like, but I think that's also a me thing and not everyone thing. Like you said, not
Yeah.
everyone is the same. Like, if I see you on the corner or struggling, I will take you in. We are
Mhm.
not together anymore. I will take you in. I will help you. I will feed you. I will clothe you. Because at some point, for whatever reason, God inspired or wanted us to have a child together. So I
Right.
can't just let you, tarnish because I don't like you anymore, because it didn't work out anymore. I don't have that in me.
Yeah.
And so I think that, not that everyone has to be like me, but I think that like, it almost should be a standard. Like, if you have a kid with someone, a man or a woman, this now forever is somehow, some way, even a distant uncle, family, right? Like, we distant now, real distant, but you still have to love on me and help me and guide me. Now, I don't owe you anything because you have to do it for yourself, but at the same time, I'm also not gonna let you like die,
No, and I get it. I do. I think that the whole dynamic of parenting or co-parenting, at the end of the day, is very specific and very particular to the two people involved.
Yeah.
However, it also brings up the question as to, like, when a man gives child support or a woman gives the man child support, what kind of access are they getting to the children? Because I think that that's one of the things that often gets missed, right? Somebody just gets put on child support and that's it. There's never seems to be any kind of advocating from either side to say, hey, let's do this event together with the kids, or hey, can you come pick up your child for this or that? So it's like, at that point, if we were doing this hypothetical situation, right? Like, should the paying parents still claim them if they never see them but they pay child support?
Absolutely not.
But you see what I'm saying? That's dangerous, though, because they're still taking care of their children. They're just not physically there.
No. You can see them. They have visitations. They can see them whenever they want, but you can't. If you have the right to see them, if I give you, or the court gives you, Tuesdays and Wednesdays and every other weekend, and you choose not to see them, but yet you pay on time every year, that's not a relationship. That's mandatory. That's something you're supposed to do. You're mandatory doing or fulfilling your obligation for the financial part of it. It's just like in a relationship. If you give me money and you buy me Prada, Fendi, whatever, Steve Madden, whatever, right? Like, you buy me all these nice things. I get flowers every Wednesday, but you never tell me I'm beautiful. You never take me out. You never make a little cozy sala moment for Netflix. You don't make dinner. Like, then there's this balance. There's no balance in this relationship. It's all about finance, right? So it requires much more than you just paying child support. You have to also be there for the child, pay attention. A lot of men, mostly, maybe even females, depending on who has the custodial rights. Do you know what grade? I've heard of parents that say, "Oh, what grade is he going into?" What? Excuse me? What? Did you not remember he finished 3rd grade last year? Like, three,
but
four,
listen, there's married people who don't even know that about each other.
And
because one person handles that and the other person doesn't, and
that's sad to me. That's sad to me.
One parent and the parent that cares the more about the more serious things. So I don't know.
I think that's kind of whack. I hate when I hear things like that. I have heard it. I have heard that. Like, it's like, I really do. I really dislike that. I've actually had those conversations with married people for like many, many years. And even when it comes to their partner, like, they're like, "Oh, I don't know where she's at," or I don't really know where he's at right now. What?
Yeah.
But aren't you together? Like, aren't you supposed to know? Like, isn't that like, I don't need to get tabs on you.
Some people don't care. Some people are very free spirited, and they just don't have that kind of ties or that kind of commitment value.
Yeah, and for those that are listening, because I know quite a few of my friends that are like this, and no jobs. I'm not taking jobs. You guys have heard me. You guys have heard me say this to your face. No, you've heard me say this to your face. I just don't understand that. Like and kudos to you. It's worked for you. Hallelujah. It will never work for me. It will never, because I don't need to know where you're at every moment of the day. I don't need to know that. But I need you to, if you've been gone for more than 4 hours or something like that, or I know that something's going on, I would like for you to check in and be like, hey, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, but that you go a whole day, you left my house at 4 o'clock in the morning and I don't hear from you again till 7 o'clock at night. We got the problem, baby. We got the problem. There is lack of communication in this relationship. You can't go all them hours and not say, what?
Yeah, I can't stop because all these rules you're gonna scare away everybody.
I'm not gonna scare nobody. A man that got his pantalones on, he know what it's about.
Girl, you need to search for a specific personality for sure. Just like I search for specific personalities because I know how I am.
All right, so you're cool with that? You're cool with going?
Oh no, ma'am, no, ma'am.
So then don't judge me.
No, ma'am. I am not that way. I am not about that whole separated life. That is not me. Don't come at me with that shit. I need you to be obsessed. I need you to be all about me. I need you to treat me like a queen. That whole I'm hanging out with the homeboys. I'm your homeboy.
No. See, that's where we differ. We've had this conversation. I'm cool with that. I'm so cool with you going to hang out, you having your free time. We're individuals. But
you're married or you're in a relationship, you don't need homeboys.
That you keep me posted and you tell me, oh, you know, everything's good. I just wanted to check in. How you doing? I miss you. I need to hear that. I need to see that you're good. Not about the tabs. It's about communication for me.
No.
Hell no. You can do everything with me.
Para que le sepa. And that's how I feel about it. Sorry. Because I used to be, when I was married, I used to be that way. I used to be like, oh, of course, we both need our liberty. I need girls' night and you need boys' night and whatever. And that just leads to risky behavior, cheating, and a bunch of other stuff. And I heard a sermon once from a pastor, and he was saying that when you are married and God has given you a wife, that it is your due diligence and your duty to take care of that wife fully.
Right.
Okay. And that means that when you have interactions outside of your home and your temple and your wife, that you are not to be hanging out with single people, because single people are not blessed yet.
Oh,
you are
blessed.
So if you are in blessing and you want abundance, then you surround yourself around other blessed people and other abundance of what you like to see in your home. And I understood then that was a lot of the stuff that went wrong in my marriage. I used to also be the girl to be like, oh, I don't care if he has a female best friend because I have a bunch of male friends. I'm in the male engineering world and I don't sleep with my guy friends. Okay? He was meeting up at midnight with his best friend. Okay.
Yeah, no, see that there's a line. There's a line.
I decided that I had to look at things a little bit more like realistic and just understand that when you are in a relationship, there's certain liberties that neither partner should be taking. And I'm just not that person. And
no,
to be honest,
I get that.
If I went with a guy and if Robert was to be like, oh, no, I'm going to go hang out with
who?
With who?
Nah, see, I don't.
The reservation is for the both of us, right?
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think that men and women should hang out with people that also are in relationships. I think that it's not that you can't have single friends. It is a little bit more sensation, or it depends on the friends that you have. Some friends are very horrible and they test you. But if you can be tested or if you can fold, that's not on them. That's on you. And you want to know that early.
Yeah, but you have to have. You also have to have the maturity to understand that that's not your circle anymore.
Right.
Because the truth is, if I went out right now with a group of my single friends, because I have single friends, I already know what the play is because I was single for so damn long.
Mm-hmm.
My single friend ain't gonna be like,
oh, all your single friends
because you got a man. She's gonna be like, girl, you ain't got a man tonight. Let's go.
So then that ain't your friend. That never was your friend.
But
Because
that's
the circle changes.
again,
I'm the single
but
friend right
that's
now.
that circle.
But you ain't gonna do that to
that's
me.
her vibe. That's her vibe. That's what she's doing, and that's exactly what most single people do.
Okay, but you and I have gone out, and I'm the single one, and you're not gonna do that to me.
Do what?
Tell me, oh, you single tonight? Let's go out.
Oh, I'm not that type of person, but what I'm
Exactly.
saying is that single people do single shit. That's just what it is.
Well, not all. A lot of them will, yes.
Right.
Because
That's
I've been
You
single
can't
many
compare
years.
you and I's relationship to like what I'm talking about socializing, because you and I have known each other for a lifetime.
Mhm.
So there's a different level of respect. It's kind of like you saying that you're gonna go out with your sister and you're gonna hold your sister around. You're not doing that. But you already know that your rest of your friends are gonna wild out because that's just what it is.
That's just who they
if
are.
you single, you single.
Yeah.
And men are no different. You think that's some dude that he's gonna be like, oh, let me behave because my G got a wife. Girl style. He's gonna be like, yo, look at that fat ass right there.
Yeah, it depends on who you're surrounded
And you
by.
think
But
that
you're right.
temptation is not gonna eventually get to them and be like, oh well, whatever. Let me do a little dance. Let me talk to this. It's gonna happen. No matter.
Because
It's
they're
like
stupid
leaving a bowl of candy and telling the toddler not to eat it or not to touch it. Stop. Eventually, you leave it there enough, that toddler's gonna take it. It's the same way.
Yeah, you have to put yourself in positions where you're not going to tempt yourself. But I do stand by the fact that you do need your individual space, because you're individuals. It doesn't mean you're glued to each other once you're together.
Mhm.
I think that I'm cool with like you going to, like, I know he likes to go, he hunts. He's gonna go hunting. I'm not gonna go fucking hunting. You can go your ass go hunt.
Baby, I'll make you a sandwich.
Now, if you're gonna go to a laser tag or to go paintball shooting or something like that, I'm down for that. Like,
No, we
there's
going
certain things I'm
everywhere.
down. I pull myself out. My circle of friends is his circle of friends. We have the same friends because we went to the same place. But a lot of times, even though I'm the homie and they know me, I pull myself back because it's man hour, not my hour. So I let him have his space.
Mm-mm.
She said, hell no.
I
If
cannot.
I can't go, you
I
can't
cannot.
go.
What I want is a life partner to do all that fun shit with.
I do. Absolutely.
I don't want my man telling me, oh, I'm gonna go ski with my friend. I'm gonna go travel with my friend. I don't want to hear that shit. You and I are traveling.
There's a line. It's like a nice little line. Everything. It's like a thin line.
I'm
I'm talking about like catch a beer, catch a game, little simple shit. Not like let's go to Bali. You go to Bali.
You know what I find interesting about that theory of I need space and I'm gonna do my own thing and blah 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 blah. When you're single, you bring dates to certain situations you go to. If there's a grand opening, you grab a date.
Yeah.
If you have like some kind of gala, you bring a date. If it's a holiday, you are tempted to bring a date, you bring a date, right? And then all of a sudden you're married, and now all of a sudden, oh, I don't need a date. I need me time. No.
Right.
Then
No.
you're married to the wrong person.
Yeah.
You and I need to be having fun all the time. We have to go out, do everything together. I want to wake up and remember and be like, oh my God, remember that trip? Oh my God, we got so wasted.
Yeah.
You my best friend now.
No, that I agree with. I think that you have to have, if you're married to the wrong person, you're with the wrong person if you can't do everything and enjoy everything. I want to be able to be like white on rice with each other and we're still really cool and you're not tired of seeing me. Can you still go out and chill with your friends on some like a beer occasionally, a poker night at their house? Okay, all right, that's nice, that's cute. But not like, they're going on trips and that's my position. That's my place. But I do agree. I think that when you're in the right relationship, you are the bestest of friends. And that's where it starts. That's where the child support starts. Making the right decision. Because if you choose the wrong person, you'll find yourself in child support court. Sometimes you just don't know. Honestly, you saw the best things and kind of like what you were saying before. How do you really know if the person's fit? Because people start one way and then they switch it up.
Yeah. I mean, when I started with my ex-husband, he was a single father himself. He took care of his daughters very well. They were always well dressed, very clean looking. I thought the world, In
hindsight, though,
huh?
See any signs? Anything that you saw afterwards? Now, in hindsight, anything that he did, it wasn't. None of that was present.
Mm-mm. No, because he had 50% custody of his kids. He never complained that once about them. He would constantly just brag about how his daughters were his life. And just the way that he went about things, if I cooked, he cleaned. It was just the first year or two were bliss. We didn't argue. We were that, like, uña y mugre, how they say, couple where we were everywhere. We were doing business together. We were doing a lot of things together. So I didn't see all of that.
So
it wasn't until I got married and got pregnant, and then all of a sudden
you started to change it up.
Everything changed. Yeah.
Another one of my amazing theories is that
what?
Marriages should have a renewal.
What do you mean?
Every 5 years. Did you change? Are the conditions of our marriage the same as when we started? Do you still show me flowers? Do you still take me out? Do I still give you compliments? Am I still the person you married? And if not, then we can renew this contract, non-verbal, verbal, whatever it is.
Yeah.
We can boogie and go each other's ways. Because at this point now, it's not what you said. And so now I don't feel binded to you forever and ever. And I have to stay in this marriage that is not happy and it's not what you promised.
Yeah. But I think that should be a part of every relationship to evaluate every so often. I don't think, though, that you should be the same person that I met. I would want to see some kind of growth. I want to see a different human in 10 years, because in 10 years, both look different.
Yeah, you gotta grow. You gotta be better, not negative. I'm talking about the opposite way. Let's not go the opposite way. If you want the opposite way,
I don't know so much about the opposite way, but I know things can change. I may like you to bring me flowers every weekend now. In 10 years, I may be bored of flowers. Maybe I don't want you to keep doing that. Right. So I think that it's more about getting to know each other and understanding each other's habits and how we grow and how we change, and be patient with those changes.
Learn each other, study me. Your job is to study me. Yeah. I became your whole degree now. Get a doctorate in Diana Velez.
Right. And so that's how it should be, though. You should learn your person to the point that you should just understand. Like my better half right now, he's an extreme morning person. I mean, like happy-go-lucky, super loud.
That's me.
Like, and you know how I am. I walk out with the sheet over my head and just like my face peeking out, not wanting to say a freaking word for like 3 hours.
He doesn't want to talk to anybody.
I just want to stay really quiet with my coffee and, just in my head, just, that silence is beautiful in the morning.
Silence of the lambs. I am
he's like, let me get that ass. And he's like all over the fucking place. And I'm like,
he said, let me get that ass. Damn. Okay. I get it all, man.
He's very robust in the morning, and I'm not. I'm not that person.
I like
and so
it.
I tolerate his loudness, and he tolerates my grouchiness. And that's just it.
And that's how it should be. It should be
what I'm saying.
The yin and the yang.
But I told him, I said, I would be a morning person if I didn't have to go to work. Because in the islands, when I lived in Dominican Republic, I would wake up early as hell. Or when I visit Dominican Republic, I wake up very early, or any island. As soon as that rooster is singing, I am the happiest person in the world. I am up. I am in nature. I am
island, baby. Island.
I am drinking coffee in Marquesina.
Little coconut water in the morning.
Con mi pan con chocolate, and just living the best life ever. So there, I'm a morning person. Here, though, I'm not. There's nothing glorifying about waking up in four walls. So I'm just not a morning person here.
I guess I'm a morning person because I feel like I wake up with not that you don't, but I wake up already with gratitude. Like even on the worst day, I'm like, but I was able to, like, literally in the middle of the night, I could be having a shitty night. Tonight might be one of those. I'm already cramping. I'm not in the mood. I'm a little edgy. But just because I was able to drag my feet, literally drag them to the bathroom, like I would have gratitude for that. Like, I can still get on my feet. Like, so that's my mindset. That's what it is. That's maybe if after I hit menopause or some shit and it changes. But right now, I'm excited. I know that I'm alive. I get to, I look at it as I get to. So that part makes me excited. And I'm like, what are we doing today? How are we taking over the world?
Lord have mercy. I can't. No. I think that because for me, although I'm so tenacious and I have like all these plans and goals and all this other stuff, to me, truly my ideal life was to have ultimate freedom.
Yeah.
I want it to be just a
No, no,
freelance.
no. Whoa.
Working-
Dial it back.
Huh.
Fix your sentence. I don't like that.
What? I don't understand.
That you use past tense.
Yeah, because I'm already about to be 40. I've
And
already lived a whole life.
you died or something? Did
Huh?
you notify me? Did you die?
No, but I'm saying like that's the life that I wanted. Like at the age of 19, as soon as I moved out of my house, I wanted to be an artist.
Well, but now you
Did not
have another
happen.
option. Now you're gonna
For
do
20
it.
years
Stop complaining. It's gonna happen
2
this
years
year.
later, darling, and it did not happen. Okay.
It's gonna happen this year.
No, if it happens now, that's just because I'm away to my deathbed. But no, that's what I wanted. I wanted that life. I wanted that freelancing life. I wanted that freedom to travel. I wanted the freedom to do art and all this other stuff. And it just didn't work out for me that way. And so it's like, I don't know, like it's just different. So I don't really wake up with that kind of happiness.
Right.
Give me a second.
Sorry.
I gotta grab the charger.
I love the throw blanket. It looks so
Isn't
fuzzy
that
and
pretty?
warm. It looks so fuzzy and warm. I want
It
it.
really is, though. It's beautiful. I love it.
Oh, I love, like, that's one thing that I'm like, oh man, I can't wait. Lord help me. Right now, I would be in Jamaica. About 9 years ago, just about now, right after my birthday, I found out that I was going to Jamaica. Some guy I was dating, he was so nice to me then. And he got me my first trip ever that I went to, like, during Valentine's Day. I've never been taken away for Valentine's Day. But he took me to Jamaica, man. And I was like,
Really?
bro,
been
I've
taken
never gotten
anywhere
burnt
by a
that
man.
badly. Huh?
I've never been taken anywhere by a man.
Oh, that was amazing. He paid for everything. We went to Jamaica. It was amazing. So it was like a snow blizzard here, and we landed there, and it was a blazing hot 97. It must have been like 102 over there when we landed. And so it was hot the whole time. We were burnt. And when we landed here in New York, we were so cooked that we didn't even feel like the snow, the coldness, because it was our skin was so hot.
Dang. That's intense.
That was intense, but it was good. I had a good time. So right now, I would love to be somewhere Caribbean and like the sand. I love the feeling of the sand on my feet, so I would like love that right now.
Ay, Dios.
I'm having a moment right now.
Anyways, yeah, no, I don't know. Like, so like this is the first time that somebody's gonna take me somewhere, and that's Robert.
I love it. I love it for you. I was
Booking
like,
me
I'm
to
gonna slap
Puerto
you.
Rico,
I'm just gonna slap you.
and I even made it like really awkward, and then I felt stupid about it. It was like a whole.
You did.
Thing. It was
weird.
weird.
You should have just been like, thank you.
Yeah,
But you know what it is? That's another topic for another day. But that's so many topics for another day.
It doesn't matter.
The
Let's
thing
just
is
talk
that
about all of it now.
the thing is that people and life has made it that way for us. Where like it's almost like a compliment. It feels weird. Like I guess thank you, or you receive a gift and you're like. I don't know how to feel about this because I always pay for my own trips. Like I don't, so it's very like weird, but it shouldn't be. We should normalize receiving and being given and being doted on because of the people that we are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, for sure. But I think that this is a learning curve for me.
Yeah, it is.
Because I don't know, like I think that anytime that anybody has given me anything, they've expected something out of it or expected something back. And so that kind of exchange, I don't care for. I can do better on my own, as they say, and I can give myself whatever I want, which is why I didn't want a no man. I wanted a man to just say yes to me. Because if I spoil me, then there's no reason why somebody else should say no to me.
Right.
So that's just how I think about it.
Well, that sounded evil.
Yeah. No, I am that way. So I don't know. Like I just think that when it comes to that kind of stuff, it just feels awkward for me to just like release and let it go and just be okay with it. So it's very hard for me to receive gifts or receive that type of thing. And again, it's mainly because of that, because of my previous experiences. It's the same thing where, you know how like some women be like, oh, I'm okay with 50-50 or whatever. So like, I don't know how to be, como te digo, like, I don't know how to ask a man like, oh yeah, just pay all the bills, because I never want to hear, oh, I pay the bills in this house. I don't
Oh,
want to hear that.
hell no.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to know. See, it's difficult because I think that's a conversation you need to have when you first start, which
Yeah.
also kind of goes with this conversation, the initial conversation, because we kind of pivoted. But I don't know. It's one of those things where, like, once you have that conversation and you say, like, this is what I think, this is how I want this relationship to go, and if you're cool with it, then fine, then it aligns. But if I don't want to have to remind you or tell you, hey, I don't want to do 50-50, or I don't believe in 50-50, right? Like, I want to know that it is the first of the month, that either you pay for it and you took care of it, or that you send the money so that I can take care of everything, without me having to tell you, because I'm never going to tell you. One thing I've always said to whomever I'm dating or I'm with, and even my mom, and my mom is my mom, like, I'm never going to say, hey, I paid $50 for that. I paid $150, so give it back. I'm never going to get it back. I'm never going to ask. I'm never going to ask for money. I don't know how to do that. I haven't taught that. Nor am I going to be like, hey, the bill is due. Hey, the bill is due. Hey,
Right.
I'm
It's
not gonna do that.
It's
I'm just going to take
awkward.
care of it. I know I'm a fixer. I fix things. I create solutions. I get it done. That's it.
Yeah.
So
I'm
gonna
like
get
that
it done.
And it's hard to allow to be taken care of, or allow certain things to happen, because it's like, oh my God, like, and I think that's tied to a lot of trauma. That to me, that's tied to seeing a single mother, because my mother was a single mother.
Right.
And so I think all of that affected the way that I perceived men and relationships, because I just saw my mom figuring it out. And so I kind of grew up with that same mentality. And then again, when you have like that tough exterior, for some reason, you tend to like also attract people who are beneath you when it comes to that kind of like duality of power. So it kind of sucks when you're a dominant woman, because you end up attracting that.
Yeah. You almost have to, it's almost an obligation for you to really reprogram yourself. And it's something that I'm learning now over the years. Like, I attract who I attract because I continue to be who I am. So in order for me to be soft and to receive this soft life, I need to start being more soft and more like, I don't know how to do it. Actually, one of my uncle's wives was here in June, and she said to me, you are she's an older woman too. She's like in her late 50s, not older, like older than me.
I was about to say,
yeah, older than me. No, she looks amazing. She's super young. She got 5 kids. The woman doesn't even look like she really has kids. Like, she maybe has little kids, but she looks really, really good. But that's not the point. The point is that she's in her later 50s. She's in marriage, I think number 2 or number 3, and she's just like, I've had to learn. And when I was younger, I would do what you did. You remind me a lot of me, and I think so much more even of you than I did of me. Like, you got it all. Like, you just put it on a book bag and you got it and you figure it out and you go for it. You're gun ho. And she was like, but you're also stupid. Like, she like just inundated me with like a lot of like beautiful words. And then she goes, but you're also stupid. Don't pick up the luggage.
Yeah.
You don't know how to do that either. I don't know how to do that one either. I don't know how to figure that out either. Like, you gotta be real soft, because if you start like, I can do it, you demasculate him, and then men are just, not all, but some men will just like, all right, cool, she got it. She'll figure it out. She wants to go straight, she'll plan it. She wants to do this, she'll figure it. Nah, I don't know.
Yeah, I've learned that too, that even if I have the solution, now I'm more open to have the conversation and just say, hey, let's figure this out. And to be honest with you, I have found more success doing that, because sometimes you think you know it all. And while we are good at finding solutions, so not all of our solutions are the best solutions.
Right.
So marrying them with someone else actually helps out. So I'm more open to have those conversations. And instead of me saying, hey, I have an idea for us, it's more like, hey, what idea do you have about this?
Yeah. I like that better. I love, like, I mean, obviously we're both females, but I love our conversations, because a lot of times I'm like, yeah, I got it. I got this. Like, this is it. We struck gold. And then I'm like, Jimmy, what you think? And Jimmy's like, well, I love that part, but this part, no.
Right.
I'm like, oh shit, I didn't think about it that way though.
Yeah.
Like,
And vice versa,
you're presented with a different option. You're presented with something else, and you're like, oh, that makes sense.
But you have to be open to that dialogue. So like, A lot of the times in my family, I got called argumentative, but it's because I'm that way.
Right.
Where I come across as argumentative or like I'm fighting against you, but I'm not. I'm just trying to figure out. For one, I want to know why you thought of what you thought.
Right.
Because maybe your thought process makes me feel a little bit different or convinces me to switch my idea. And the other part is because I think that healthy argument is the way that I learn best.
Mm-hmm.
Disputing a topic to me is how I learned the most.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you exactly what I think and why I think it and how I'm supporting what I'm thinking. But then I want to hear you rebuttal and tell me why I'm wrong.
Right.
So, and so that's kind of like just the way that I like to do things. But it took me a long time to extend that past my job and my friends and put it into play in a relationship.
Yep. And it's not always that easy to do that, but it's worth you being open. And I think that when it comes to, all relationships, but definitely in your own like relationship, your love, romantic relationship, you want to be able to be open. And I'm excited. I'm excited to let someone lead me. Like I think at this point I've led for so long. I've been the leader. I've been the one that figures it all out that I think I've exhausted it. The position. Yeah. I've exhausted the position and I want to kind of dial it back. And I want you to lead. I want you to figure it out. I want you to have all the plans already set up for us. Mm-hmm. I want to be able to follow. Obviously, if I still feel like there's something that could be tweaked or, hey, did you consider this? For sure, I'm going to add value to you and I'm going to not let you like, okay, whatever, like make a mistake. I'm going to kind of guide this relationship. But I also want to know that you can lead us. That you're a leader, you're a firm leader, you have our best interests at heart, right? And that you're also open to listening, right? Because the good Lord says that he's the head and I'm the neck. So I want to make sure that we're in alignment with each other, right? Because a lot of the times, the men are the head, but we make it their idea, like Mm-hmm. I thought that. That's exactly what I thought.
I don't think I've ever believed in one person leading the other like an absolution, because I think that you both have to be leaders in whatever your strong suit is. There's certain people who suck at money. So if you suck at money, I don't want you handling our funds.
Right.
If if you suck at cooking, I don't want you touching the kitchen.
I don't want you cooking.
I don't want you cooking.
Yeah, I'm gonna let him take the lead. Like, boo, I can cook, but I desire for you to cook, so you can go ahead and like man the whole kitchen. Right. But I think it's a lot, and I think that going back to what we were saying, like, because we're almost wrapping up, that's where it stems from. It stems from making the best decisions, making the best choices in life for the partner you're gonna choose. Can you prevent not choosing the wrong person? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe listening to your gut is very important. But dialing it back to what we were saying, I think that when you make better choices with the people that you choose to have a child with, child support can be something that you won't be scared then. You won't be scared. If Trump passes this bill, that is not, you won't be scared, because you will have someone amicable that you're working with that is not going to say, hey, I pay child support, so I need to, I need these 2 kids to claim them because I want my money back.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. I think that it is in a way preventable to choose to like end up with the wrong person. But I think that the only way that actually can have a higher success rate is if your foundation at home is good. Because a lot of the times that's what causes us to choose the wrong person, because we're carrying around trauma and damage and this and that, and abuse and whatever else we experience as children. We carried it into adulthood, and the problem is that at the end of the day, like, you can sit there, right? And you can be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pick this right person. Because, whatever, I've worked on myself. I did therapy. I did this. But you might have something unresolved that you don't even know. And it's about to manifest itself because somebody just triggered you in the wrong way or whatever the case is. and now you're right back
Man.
to square one.
Speak to
And
the
that happens a
choir.
And that happens a lot. So,
Speak to the choir, girl.
you know, I had a thing about rescuing people. And, you know, I did that for so long. And then I was like,
So
I'm never
annoying.
doing this again.
So annoying.
It is. So it's a lot. It's a lot to unpack for
Thinking
sure.
like you, Mother Teresa, like, oh, because you know, bendito, you didn't have the upbringing I had, you know,
Right.
and so I'm gonna help you. No one showed you love, so I'm gonna help you. No, that's not my job. That's your job. Figure it out. Go learn how to love.
Right.
Go respect yourself, and then when
Right.
you're ready, then show up, ready, guns blazing.
Facts. And so I think that this is gonna wrap up our episode today. Anyways, don't forget to put your baby daddy and your baby mama on child support.
Oh my God, I was gonna say like and subscribe. She said, "Damn."
Go to that courthouse. Now let me stop.
Oh,
I don't even have
this is
my
ratchet.
I don't have my ex-husband on child support, so
Neither do I.
I
Neither do
don't. I
I,
don't like
I feel like this will be my last comment about that. I feel like if I have to put you in child support, you're a whack dad.
that too. But honestly, to me, is oof, it's a power thing. I don't want you having the rights or the ability to be able to take me to court, or me be able to take you to court for every single little thing. And unfortunately, that is the side effect of going to court.
You have to go through
Once you have
everything.
a court order, if you miss it, your life is literally in that other person's hand. You could be
Mhm.
having a heart attack in the hospital, and the cops will come and arrest you because you missed your child support. You know, or whatever the case is. Or oh, I was supposed to pick her up on Sunday at 5 p.m., but I got there at 5:30. Boom, I'm being served. You leave too much to that, and I don't like that.
Yeah, the control part.
Um,
I want to be able to call it how it is. And here's another thing that people don't talk about. Your kid might not want to go with that parent.
Oof.
So now there's another
Now
like,
there's an episode. Oof.
you know. So no matter what that court order says, I don't feel comfortable with that parent. I don't like that parent that much. I love them, but I don't like them that much. So I don't know that I want to be in their presence that amount of time. I can go ahead and change that because I don't have anything, you know, court ordered. I can say, hey, you know what? It's not going to work out this weekend. We're going to have
Right.
to staff or whatever else because I said so, because it's my kid, you know?
And that's what I advise everybody. If you can settle it out of court, and you guys can come to friendly agreement on how to do things for your children, on how to co-parent
Without using your kids.
custody.
Kids are not spawns.
Right.
They're not puppets. You don't say, I mean, I said he's my kid. I don't mean it in that terms. I mean, like, it's my best interest to help and serve my child. So if I feel like you bring him to Uncle Betty's house and Benny is not so safe and you don't understand that he shouldn't be there, then I'm going to remove him from that equation. I'm not going to allow him. But a lot of parents use them as spawns, like, oh
yeah.
you didn't give me child support, so you ain't gonna see him this weekend.
And that's so
not how
trash.
that works.
That
That's
is so
not how that
trash.
works.
That is definitely trash. But anyhow, mi gente, llegamos al final del episodio número 3. We have
Wow,
come
she
to
went
the
Spanish
end of
on you.
episode
Oh,
3.
okay. Okay.
You like my Spanish, right?
I saw that. Rico, suavemente, she went.
Thank you.
I cannot.
I
With her.
can be sexy.
Wow, she's eating chacon right now with her hair. You have to see how cute she looks. Wait till this episode drops, guys. She's got the little like afro vibey curliness. She got the little, it's like a not hot pink, almost throwing into red.
You know what?
She
What
got the-
color do you see? I see hot pink.
So it looks like it's pink. I know what that color is because I have it in my this thing where I'm like, why does this look red when it's actually pink? But it's actually pink. But those are those reds, those pinks that are like hot pink, but they almost look like red. On camera, it looks red.
Yeah.
I know
when
what
my
it
mom
is.
put
I
it on,
have
it looks
that one.
bright red on her because she's pale.
Yeah,
But when I put
she's
it
not
on,
pale.
it looks so darker pink on
Yeah.
her.
No,
So-
but you look adorable. I love the little like, what is that? Like, show me the shirt.
So this is actually a really cute sweater.
It's beautiful. Oh, and she got the boobs. She got boob happening.
It crosses over like this.
Oh,
And I got
wow.
this-
And then I love this. Is she showing tattoo? Okay. So, I like the cuffs also.
Yeah, so it's got like the little baggy arms.
Yeah,
and
we
stuff
need like a whole moment for you in your shirt. Like we're
Yes,
gonna have
I
to.
love this shirt. It's one of my favorite sweaters, and I barely ever wear it because my chichis are so out that it's a whole thing. Anyways, I have it in black too, and it's really pretty. But anyhow, so the message for tonight is being a single parent is ghetto. I do not recommend it. 0 out of 10, like I said earlier. No, just kidding. Now, listen, if you have a child and you are co-parenting or whatever the case may be, and you guys are not together anymore, my best advice to you is to try to figure it out. If you feel like you cannot figure it out on your own, there is plenty of programs out there that can help you as a single dad or a single mom, that can help you co-parent, that can help you mediate, that can help you get to a healthy solution.
Right.
Know your rights as a parent. That is something that is often missed, specifically by men, to be honest with you. Not that I'm a woman hater in any type of way, but I think that men are more ignorant to laws and regulations that apply to them because they often fall to that stigma that the court system is going to sympathize with a woman more than with a man. And those are just not the times anymore. That used to fit really well when the times were that women were not employable. That's just not the reality of life anymore.
Keep your receipts. Make sure you document
everything and protect yourselves. And just so you guys know, Trump did not say anything about child support.
Again, he didn't say that.
Now, we did put it on our banner. We did do it that way, but that was to catch you guys' attention because that was the rumor that was going around and it kind of surged to this topic. But anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode tonight. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on IG. The Aces Club Podcast all together, and also on Facebook, the Aces Club Podcast. Good night.